exploring multidimensional bodies of being human. Light,
What does it mean to be a multidimensional human being? Are we merely physical bodies wandering through space? Or is there more to our existence than meets the eye? The exploration of these questions uncovers the fascinating complexity of our human personality, a multidimensional entity shaped by a myriad of factors. Dive into the depths of personality psychology, and one encounters a spectrum of dimensions that constitute the human personality. These dimensions, often considered as traits, are characteristics that define our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The most widely accepted model, the five-factor model, encapsulates 5 broad dimensions: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Openness, the first dimension, touches upon our willingness to experience new things, to be imaginative, and to appreciate different forms of art and beauty. It's the creative spark, the curiosity that drives us to think outside the box. Conscientiousness, on the other hand, is the force that keeps us grounded. It's the discipline that drives us to fulfill our duties and obligations, to be organized and methodical. It's the dimension that keeps our lives in order, ensuring we don't stray too far from the path. Extroversion, the third dimension, is the energy that fuels our social interactions. It's the desire to be around others, to be the life of the party, to thrive in social situations. It's the dimension that keeps us connected, forging bonds and relationships. Agreeableness, the fourth dimension, is the compassion that makes us human. It's the empathy that allows us to understand others, to be kind and considerate. It's the dimension that keeps us united, fostering harmony and cooperation. Lastly, neuroticism is the dimension that reflects our emotional stability. It's our response to stress, our tendency to experience negative emotions like anxiety, anger, or depression. It's the dimension that tests our resilience, challenging us to find balance. These dimensions do not exist in isolation, but are intricately intertwined. The interaction between these dimensions shapes our unique personality, influencing how we perceive the world and how we interact with it. For instance, a person with high openness and low conscientiousness might be a creative dreamer, always brimming with ideas but struggling to bring them to fruition. Moreover, our personality dimensions are not fixed, but can evolve over time. Life experiences, personal growth, and maturity can lead to shifts in our personality dimensions. The ever-changing nature of these dimensions adds another layer of complexity to our multidimensional personality. In summary, being a multidimensional human means possessing a unique blend of personality dimensions that shape our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The five-factor model, comprising openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism, provides a comprehensive framework for understanding these dimensions. Their interaction creates our unique personality, and their evolution over time reflects our personal growth. So the next time you ponder about what it means to be human, remember that you are not just a physical entity. You are a fascinating tapestry of personality dimensions, ever-evolving, ever-changing, making you the unique, multidimensional human being you are.
Have you ever pondered the essence of a light body? It's not a concept that comes up in everyday chatter, is it? Yet, it's a fascinating topic that delves into the realm of spirituality, consciousness, and energy. Today, we unravel the mystery behind this intriguing concept. Picture yourself as a being of energy rather than just flesh and bone. That's the first step towards understanding the light body. It's an energetic blueprint of your physical body, interlaced with your emotional, mental, and spiritual states. It's often visualized as a radiant, glowing silhouette, a body made of light. The idea of the light body isn't new. It has roots in various spiritual traditions around the globe, from the rainbow body in Tibetan Buddhism to the Ka In ancient Egyptian beliefs, different cultures have their unique interpretations. However, at the core, all of these traditions describe the light body as a vehicle for our consciousness, a higher vibrational version of ourselves that transcends the physical plane. Now, you might ask, what's the purpose of a light body? Well, it's believed to be a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. It's a conduit that allows us to access higher states of consciousness and spiritual wisdom. Activating the light body can lead to profound personal transformation, enhanced intuition, and a deeper sense of connection with the universe. There are various practices suggested to awaken or activate the light body. Meditation, energy healing, yoga, breathwork, and maintaining a high vibration diet are some of the paths often recommended. These practices aim to balance and align the energy centers or chakras in our body, facilitating the flow of divine energy. To sum it all up, the light body is an energetic version of our physical selves, intertwined with our mind, emotions, and spirit. It serves as a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms, giving us access to higher states of consciousness. Various spiritual traditions recognize it, each with their unique interpretation. Awakening the light body can lead to profound personal transformation and a deeper connection with the universe. This concept might be a lot to wrap your head around. It's not something you can touch or see, yet it's an integral part of who we are. So the next time you have a quiet moment, consider this. You are more than just your physical body. You, my friend, are a radiant being of light.
Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome to this first ever episode, this first ever space, this first ever lesson of our multidimensional exploration of diving into the bodies and the multidimensional layers of the human being. I am your host, Marcus Christolight of Sacredlight Healing and Wellness. I am a Reiki practitioner, crystal healer. I do guided meditations, teach and help balance chakras, as well as help recalibrate and bring restoration, balance, and cleansing to the mind, body, and soul of our multidimensional being from holistic and energy-based quantum approaches. So as we explore in this series the multidimensional bodies of the human being, we will be exploring and diving into the different bodies within the aura of the human being. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and bring focus to the light body. The light body, some of you may know as the etheric body, the energy body, as well as the metaphysical body. In many ancient traditions, it's referenced as the rainbow body in Buddhism. And then it's also represented as the Ka in ancient Kemet or Egypt. So as we explore light body and light body awareness 101, throughout this series, we will be covering many different topics that you can see right here on the board. And I'll be utilizing this whiteboard throughout the whole series to give you guys visual aid and better imagery to explain what it is that I'm downloading and communicating to you. So some of these topics that we're going to be focusing on throughout the series will be the structure, the blueprint system, and the functioning of the light body and our multidimensional human. We will be talking about chakras and the chakras' relation to the light body and their relation to our everyday life. We will also be talking about energetic cords we'll be going behind how energetic cords function and how they work. And then you'll also be learning ways to clear them, as well as to become more conscious and aware of what type of cords you have in your field. And then along with that, we will also be going through different techniques and different reasons why we want to do things such as cleanse our energy field or cleanse our light body, what that looks like and how we can. We'll go through activation. So activation of the light body, what that means, what that looks like. And then we'll also be going over grounding techniques. And we'll go over the metaphysics behind grounding. And then lastly, we will also be touching on the 5-factor model, which is a model that they use for personality and the emotional states of the human being. So we'll be covering all of these different topics throughout the series. Each episode will be designated to one topic, so then we can cover it and go in depth for you guys. So for now, on this very first episode, as we break into this new exploration in this new series here, I'm going to briefly touch on all of these topics here, just to give you a brief outline and insight into what we're looking forward to in this series, and give you guys a little bit of awareness and an attunement to what this all looks like, these topics here, when it comes to the light body and how they kind of correlate and relate. So I'll briefly touch on all these. I'm not going to go full in depth on any of them. I'm just going to briefly touch on them, connect them, and show you guys some of the basics about the light body. And then as we continue on, we will go into the series, and I believe I will be kicking off the next episode with the focus of energetic cords or chakras. It'll be either one of those. And if you guys kind of have a feel for which one you would like to see first, feel free to comment or let me know which one you would like to learn about and tap in with first. Alrighty. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw to you two things. I'm gonna go ahead and draw out what we call body consciousness. All right, so body conscious. When we speak on body consciousness and being body conscious, what we are really speaking on here is that we are identifying and that we are attaching our perception of ourself or perception of life through the lens of the limited human being, or through the limited scope of just being a physical human being. And oftentimes what that associates with is, the perception and the belief system of, oh, I'm just born, and then I'm supposed to go to school, go to work, pay my bills, move on, go to heaven or hell. It's a prime example of body consciousness. So I'm gonna go ahead and put here underneath body consciousness, limited human one life only. So I put limited human one life only. And what does this mean? Well, as we kind of just touched on a little bit, When we live from the perspective of being a limited human that only has one life, and that is all you are, and that's it, that you're not a spiritual being, that you're not a conscious multidimensional being that is beyond the human vessel, then we are literally putting out the signals to the universe, to the creation, to God, source, whatever you may like to call it. We are putting out the signals. We are putting out the affirmation. We are commanding into our space as a sovereign divine being of light that is a co-creator of your existence and reality through your waves of light and vibration. You're going ahead and telling yourself, telling the universe, and telling creation that you are choosing to go ahead and take on the belief system as well as the reality to experience of being just the human identity, just being this flesh vessel. So with that being said, when you choose as the co-creator of your reality to perceive yourself in this way, then the universe is going to go ahead and conspire to give you experiences, to attract people, places, and things that support that for you. And it is completely your choice on how you want to live your reality and what you're choosing to affirm and command into your space as your reality. So with that being said, when we live in this limited, body consciousness awareness, we are more prone to suffer. We are more prone to holding on to pain, addiction, and a lot of other things because we aren't in tune with our spiritual self. We're not in tune with our higher self or our divine essence. And with that being said, you don't really have much life being brought into your human being. And we'll talk about that a little bit more on what that means. So body consciousness, you also describe it as being attached to the matrix or attached to the polarities. All right, so we have attached to polarity. What does this mean? So when we are choosing to only perceive through the 3D dimension, the third dimension, which is the dimension of physicality, of material, we must remember that, through the Kabbalion, through the Hermetic principles, the universal laws, that creation has the law of polarity, or the law of duality. With that being said, while we're in this 3D matrix realm, everything that is created is of dualistic nature and polarity. That's why you look at your human being. You have a left arm, a right arm. You have a left eye, right eye. Left nostril, right nostril. Left leg, right leg. So on and so forth. It's polarity, the geometry. Now, when it comes to ascending our vibration, ascending our mental consciousness into higher dimensions, such as a fourth dimension, fifth dimension, and beyond, what we start to do through our perception of the mind, because it's all mental, it's the law of mentalism, all dimensions and all of creation is mental. So we explore mentally through these vibrational planes of existence, and then we project it through our lens, our third eye, into our holographic reality. But when you're staying in the polarities and not choosing to ascend or transcend the polarities into a higher state of awareness, which you can call, supreme consciousness, Christ consciousness, and many other, you are then going to be prone to attaching to the polarities of life. And what does this mean? This means that you'll be more prone to falling for propaganda. You'll be more prone to being manipulated. You'll be more prone to being triggered and reactive when it comes to the worldly experiences of the contrast. And you'll identify a lot more with the contrast and a lot more with the world as who you are, basing your value, your worth, your abilities, your capabilities, your limitedness and unlimitedness based off of the polarities of life. So now, our goal as human beings is to remember that it's not that we exactly are the polarities, but it's that we are the balance. We are the straight and narrow. We are the Christ consciousness light that has both the light and the dark aspects together and supportive balance, making wholeness and completion. With that being said, we don't need to attach to the polarities, because when we go outside of the straight and narrow or the balanced or the detached observer, we are then going to be, this is the law of rhythm. We are then going to go from the left pole to the right pole to the left pole to the right pole continuously, going through the different sides of the coins. This is why you have, we got the left and the right. And this is why they say, it's two sides of the same coin, two wings of the same bird. But remember that you are the whole bird. You don't have to choose and pick sides of whichever wing. So now we have Christ consciousness. And this is also coined in many different terms as well, such as Buddha consciousness, enlightenment, wholeness. Now, when we're in Christ consciousness, we are tapping into eternalness. We are tapping into the eternal connection of the divine that is within the fabric of all creation, including you and me. Now, what does this really look like? What does this mean? So a prime example is mentally, instead of attaching to, attaching to the government or attaching to somebody else to basically be our savior, or to be the one that's going to make the changes for our life. Or, as soon as this president becomes president, it's going to make everything so much better in the world. And then all my problems are going to be solved. So that is also body consciousness. When we step into Christ consciousness, we're standing in our true sovereign power within ourselves. And we are remembering naturally that we are the divine source embodied, experiencing itself through the human vessel, and that we don't need to attach to the worldly affairs. We don't need to attach to what is going on through propaganda, what may happen, what may not happen, if this person's going to be president or if this person's going to be in office. We don't have to attach to any of it. It's our free choice. You don't have to choose sides. You don't have to attach to believing that you need a president or that you need somebody else to lead you as being who you are in this I am existence. And that's where Christ consciousness steps in, is just surrendering and relinquishing, giving our power and control away over ourselves to another being outside of us, or another energy outside of us. And there's a lot that comes with that. when you're in an eternal connection with Christ consciousness, you're able to access more pure unconditional love fluidly. You're able to be detached and have tolerance from the contrast of life. And with that, we begin to remember that we are the observer, that we are the one that is experiencing the contrast of life as temporary illusions to give us information, to give us different energy codes, and help trigger certain aspects of our soul as we go along these soul journeys. Now, there's a lot more I can touch on when it comes to body consciousness and Christ consciousness, but that'll be it for now. I just want to give you guys a brief overlook of these two kind of concepts of perception that we could live by and embody, just to give you guys some insight, as this will tie in as we continue on. And just note too that this is not like a black and white thing. This is like, it's a contrast scale. So, we fluctuate as human beings, vibrational energy beings, through these contrasts quite often daily. You may get triggered into a moment where you go into body consciousness, and then you start going into victimhood, or you start thinking that you're so limited and so stuck. That would be body consciousness. But then you could do a meditation. You can come across somebody that is helpful to relieve you of what you're struggling with. And then you could be brought right back into Christ consciousness, where you're able to be more fluid and connected and feel the connection with unconditional love and all that is. So just know that it's never just black and white. We're living contrast beings. So we're fluctuating vibrationally daily. And for everybody out there, I just want to remind you guys to drink healthy water. Hydration check. Stay hydrated, especially as you're gathering this mental information. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate and draw here for you is I'm going to go ahead and draw some of the bodies that we have in the human being when it comes to the layers of our aura. And our aura is our whole entire energy field of our being, our human being. So I'll go ahead and draw this for you guys. All right, so you have the human being. All right, so you have the human, and this is the physical body here. The physical body is right here, what you see here, physical body. Now, within the aura, you have many different bodies or layers that are parallel with each other, that are also attached to each other in synchronization. Now, you can't see these because they're metaphysical and they're beyond our physical human senses. It has been captured by cameras. There are scientists that are able to now identify these things like the aura. But so you have the physical human being. And then you have your light body right around the physical human being. And your light body is basically going to be like a parallel overlapping of your physical body, except it's electrical light energy. All right. So then the light body, while it's parallel over the physical body, it is acting as basically a roadmap, a blueprint system, or a coding system that gives function, that gives characteristics and properties, and electrical light for your physical human being to be able to exist, be utilized by our spirit, by our soul, and be living. So the human body is not exactly living without the light body being active and on. So now you have, outside of the light body, you have the emotional body. The emotional body is our portal or dimension of where our emotional energy is experienced in our human being. And then next we have the mental body. And then there's more layers outside of that, like the astral body and the oversoul and beyond. And all of those together make up the whole aura. Hey, grand day. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. How are you today? Thank you for joining in and entering this Sacred Light meditation space. And today on the Sacred Light meditation space, we are going to be exploring the focus and the topic of subconscious reprogramming and brain rewiring. And as we do so, I will briefly touch a little bit about subconscious reprogramming, what the subconscious is, and how the mechanics kind of work when it comes to how we take in programming and how our subconscious holds programming and what it looks like when these programmings that we accumulate turn into cycles and loops and patterns in our subconscious mind into our consciousness. Along with this, I'll also be touching about cognitive distortions, as well as brain rewiring and how our traumas and experiences that we go through can cause distortions, as well as what we call hardwires. when it comes to the wiring of our cognitive functioning and the way that we're perceiving life. So along with those topics that we'll be diving into, and I'll give you some details on so you can become more aware and develop a deeper relationship with the mind and mental body of ourself. I will then be opening up a journaling space for you all to be able to journal. And in that journaling space, you'll be reflecting upon any experiences or any programmings, limited beliefs, or belief systems, as well as any cognitive distortions that you can identify that you are currently struggling with in your life, that you would like to bring to the surface, to bring acknowledgement and acceptance to, and then integrate into a new lesson or deeper strength and wisdom for your being. So through that journaling, you'll then have the sacred space to do so. And then you'll be able to reflect and share within the group space if you're here live. Or if you're in your own space, you'll have all the space to your own, of course, to reflect at your own pace. So along with that journaling, we will then integrate the journaling and reflection into a guided meditation that I will facilitate for you. And in this all right, so we have the mental body and the emotional body being the bodies and layers that are next coming out of the dimension of the light body and from the physical body. So with the light body being sort of like a governor or a parallel layer, the next layer from the physical body, what this means is that the energy body or the light body acts as a blueprint template that binds all of your other bodies, including your emotional, your mental, and your astral bodies, to your physical holographic human being body. So I'm going to repeat that again. The light body acts as a government or a governing system or a blueprint mapping coding matrix system, almost like a motherboard for a computer or a motherboard for a device. It is what gives you your electrical input of energy and life force. Along with this, it also ties in with the DNA. Our DNA is what binds our light body essence to our physical body essence. So the DNA, this is why you hear activate your DNA, cleanse your DNA, because within your DNA is little bytes, little terabytes, gigabytes, whatever it's called on this level, scientifically, within your DNA system. So within your DNA is embedded light codes from your light body. And the more that they are activated within your DNA, the more your light body blueprint system comes online and then starts projecting through your holographic physical human being, thus bringing more of your light, more of your shine, more of your intelligence, more of your authentic soul purpose energy is being embodied and being emitted into the frequency of the earth grid, as well as those around you that you interact with your aura. And along with this, you also are accessing your psychic abilities, because your psychic abilities come online in your physical human life through your light body. Your light body is the coding, it is the matrix system for you to be able to access and turn on and bring into existence your psychic abilities. And this is also where the intuition comes in. I'm actually going to go ahead and break this down real quick. This is something that I came up with the other day, and it felt really resonant to kind of do this breakdown when it comes to intuition, especially dealing with the connection to the light body. So what we have is, we have intuition, the word intuition. So, what is intuition? My explanation of intuition and this aspect that we're speaking on is when you're in tune with your intuition, you are in tune with your straight and narrow path. You are in tune with your Christ consciousness within. You are in tune with the balance force of being connected with heaven and earth. And with that being said, you're able to constantly have a natural fluid streamline through your life force energy, your electromagnetic field circulating through your chakras and through your being, giving you access to knowledge, information, as well as different codes, naturally and organically, without even having to think about it, without having to put a lot of effort, without force. It's just flowing through you naturally. It's like when you get those downloads, you're getting downloads out of nowhere. Or, you take a moment, you clear out your energy, you ground, and then next thing you know, you have a whole entire plan that just downloaded into your being on your next event, or your next retreat, or the next thing to do for your well-being. So what I like to go ahead and break down with intuition is I like to go ahead and say, in tune with what is. Intuition. In tune with what is. So when we are in tune with our intuition, when we are in alignment with our intuition, we're not feeling the need to have opinion. We're not feeling the need to listen to other opinions and take them as our beliefs. We are also not really needing to feed our ego. We're not needing to run off of our triggers and feel like we need to fill our wounds and fill our voids because we want to think this or we want to think that. We're personalizing everything and we're wanting control and all that good stuff. When you're in your intuition and when you're in tune with it, you let go of all of that because you realize those are just polarizations of illusions when it comes to the actuality of who we are and what we're in from the wholeness standpoint. So I'm now going to talk about chakras a little bit, just briefly, as we will be exploring chakras in depth in a full episode later on in the series. But so you have your chakras now. And your chakras, for everybody out there, your chakras are going to be a part of your energy body. They are metaphysical. They are etheric, so to say. They're not able to be sensed with your physical senses, but if you tap into your energy field, if you tap into your emotional body, and you tap in without, the logical mind, you're able to actually sense and feel energetically your chakras. You get a sense if they're blocked, if they're overactive, if they're balanced, and a lot of other things as well. So you have the 7 chakras. And of course, there are more chakras as well, including minor chakras throughout the body. And those minor chakras are in places such as the hands, the palms, the elbows, the shoulders, the hips, the knees, the soles of the feet, the ears, nose, chin, and many other places. These chakras are energy portals. They are energy centers. They are wheels of light. You can describe it in any of these type of ways, as they have all been described throughout ancient texts. Now, your chakras are like your road maps, just like the light body is, because it's part of the light body. And what I mean by road maps is that each chakra, especially of the main chakras, carries different characteristics, different blueprints, and different codings from different dimensions of existence, according to the frequency that it resonates at. So the more that we have our chakras activated, balanced, and cleared, then the more that we have access and the more online the specific characteristics, energies, and qualities each chakra brings into our manifested material human life. The more blocked up the chakras, then the less we experience, the characteristics, the benefits, and the properties of what these chakras bring into our human life. And this can result in illness, imbalances, disease throughout the being. And then typically it'll tie into the different organs or different body parts that are encompassed by that chakra. And like I said, we'll go more in depth later on. So along with this, I also want to go ahead and draw here a cord of light. Now we all have this cord. It's like an axis point. Everything has an axis that balances the polarities. Everything in this 3D dimension and any other dualistic dimensions. What this access cord acts as for us is a balance of heaven to earth. So when it's coming down from above, it's connecting you to the heavens, it's connecting to the higher dimensional planes, the lighter vibrational fields, Christ consciousness energy. Now, when the cord travels through the chakra system, brings stability and balance to the chakras, and makes its way down out of the root center, which is the base chakra, the root chakra. It then vortexes and funnels energetically, because energy spirals, down and out of the root chakra and makes its way as an anchor or a pull to travel into the electromagnetic grid of Mother Gaia or Mother Earth. And this is where we get grounding. Grounding is when we are electromagnetically connected and stabilized to the electromagnetic grid of Mother Gaia. So real quick, what happens if we have blockages in our chakras and this cord of light's trying to come down? Say we have blocks right here in the crown, causes distortion. Then we start experiencing a distorted crown chakra and the characteristics of what that would mean, which we will touch on during the chakra episode. So say it is clear and then it makes its way down to the third eye, but the third eye is blocked. It causes distortion within your third eye center. And then you start feeling the effects and the manifestations of that. So it's the same with all chakras when it comes down the column. If there's blockages, it can cause distortion within that chakra, and then it can cause the light that is trying to travel through to be scattered, to be imbalanced, and cause many manifestations of imbalanced experiences for us until we're able to clear out our centers again and get balanced. So then we make our way to the root chakra, and say the root chakra is blocked. And what happens is, the root chakra is blocked, so boom, you're no longer able to have this cord make its way to grounding with the electromagnetic grid of Mother Gaia. Then what happens is you get these manifested feelings of feeling alone, feeling like you're isolated, feeling like you have no purpose being human, that you feel lost and you're depressed, you're anxious, just really confused on what you're supposed to be doing with your life. And sometimes it results into, suicidal tendencies and not wanting to be in the human life. because of being ungrounded and unanchored to the physical realm. Along with that, also creates a blockage point for the exit point of the root chakra, as the crown and the root are direct exit points for the top and bottom of our being. So if it's blocked at either one, and there's energies that are trying to leave your body to be released, or if it's blocked up in those areas, then we're not able to have our toroidal field moving fluidly through us because there's blockages, and it's going to create, pain and anger and frustration and all these different resistant emotions that we wish to not really experience. And we'll touch more on that during the chakra one. So say your root chakra is activated and clear. So now you have that core down to the earth. This is where grounding comes in. I'm going to go ahead and touch on the metaphysics of grounding. So now you are anchored into the earth. Let's say this is the earth grid. Now, when you're anchored into the earth grid, I like for you to think of it as going into the core of earth, and then it starts spreading out like roots of a tree. Basically like the mycelium network. It's all replicated throughout the universe. So now you have all these roots that have penetrated into the earth grid, metaphysically and then into physically. And then also your feet are direct pathways for grounding your light body to the earth as well. That's why you hear about grounding with bare feet. And, it's why we release inflammation and bacteria and other things, tension and stress, through our bare feet on the earth because of the chakras on our bare feet. The energies release out of the bare feet chakras, and then they go into the grid system of Mother Gaia, and it fertilizes Mother Gaia. It brings fertilization, replenishment, because of the unconditional love and nurturing. And then from that, it gives you the opportunity to be able to receive back in a beautiful balanced cycle with Mother Gaia, healing, nurturing, and loving energies to replenish. So along with this, when you're grounded and truly grounded metaphysically with the earth grid, you're also, through these roots of the mycelium network type of deal, we are connected with the information, the codes, and energy of all beings of earth. So we are then in connection with the support, with the perfection and balance, with the wholeness, with the unconditional love, and with the abundance of all of Mother Earth, all of the children of Earth. This includes all the animals, all human beings, the elements, the trees, the Middle Earth beings, such as dragons, fae, and your ancestors as well. So these roots then connect to all of this. So all of this is present within your energy field now, and stabilizing, grounding you with unconditional love, protection, security, and comfort of abundance. So then you take it up here, this other pole, or the other end of the pole. This is coming down from above. And when we're connected through the crown chakra with the light cord going upwards, it then does the same, as above, so below. And it spreads out like electrical roots, basically, instead of earthy roots. This time it's expanding out into the higher kingdoms, the higher dimensional planes, the angelic realms, the councils, the galactic realms, the Christ conscious realms, the other side of the family members, the shamanic realms, and those type of planes. Along with that, also the ether, the ethers, where you can just pick up the Akashic records and different information in the cloud. So this right here is just a real quick demonstration and visual for you to see the chakras and their relation to the light body, as well as that middle balance pole of light that gives us our axis as a human being. Axis, that is, AXIS, our axis for our polarity, our duality, to be balanced. And this is the path of the straight and narrow that you hear about in ancient Yeshua teachings or Buddhist teachings and other ancient teachings. The straight and narrow is being in balance, being in the harmonious state of being of your dualities, or the dualities of life, being whole together, balancing each other, seeing the balance, seeing how they bring cooperation for each other to exist. And with that, it releases attachment. It releases the feeling of needing to have opinion, the feeling of being a victim, the feeling of being helpless or limited, or the feeling of things outside of you being bigger than you or better than you, energetically and more powerful. You just remember that you have a perfect harmonious place in this creation with all. So you tie that in with intuition, in tune with what is, and what we just spoke on here with the straight and narrow path, Christ consciousness, body consciousness earlier. Body consciousness is when we are associating with the polarities of the world, of creation. And we're identifying by our limited nature of being human. Now, when we're in Christ consciousness, this is when we're in the path of the straight and narrow. When we're also in tune with what is, our intuition. It's just all naturally flowing through us. The answers we need, the material that we need, the people that we need, the things we need to say, the things we need to do for that person that's in front of us or next to us. It all comes naturally. Now, the more you have this stuff all activated, the light body, as in your chakras, you have that balancing pull flowing fluidly through you to help make your toroidal field spin properly. Then what's going to take place for you is you're going to be way more efficiently, way more simply and effortlessly going to be able to manifest, attract, acquire, be able to receive answers, guidance, creativity, and a lot more. Because your intuition is going to be flowing through you. Your energy centers are going to be activated and online through your light body, which means your blueprint codes and your mapping system is going to be more online, and it's going to be more present, and it's going to materialize more into your holographic physical human avatar. And this goes with your psychic abilities. Your psychic abilities have to deal with the intuition, your energy field, being able to tap into the ethers, and then draw out of your chakras the different characteristics that bring out the psychic abilities. That's really just what's going on here when you're intuitive and when you're a psychic or you're a channel or a medium, is that you have a very active light body, and your light body is very much in tune with your physical human self. Alrighty. So that's a little brief overlay on chakras. When we do the full episode, we'll talk about each of the chakras, and we'll talk about how there's minor chakras as well as more than 7. And then we'll also go into what the chakras are and how they translate from the light body to the physical body, as well as the emotional and mental, as the chakras tie in all of those. And then we'll also touch on what is very authentic to me, and actually I just came up with a few days ago, is what I'm not really sure what to call it yet. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to call it yet, but it is exploring the masculine and the feminine principles within each of our chakras. So I'll help you guys identify masculine and feminine principles in each of our chakras and how you can relate that to where you can find imbalances or balances of your masculine and feminine energies throughout your human being. All right. So last, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little quick visual and demonstration of what energetic cords look like from the light body. So you have the human physical body, once again, and then you have your energy body. So let's just say that's the energy body. And then of course you have the chakras as well. And we can create cords directly from our chakras, but we'll be touching on that during chakras. Now, energy cords. So I want you to think of it like this. Look at how the energy field is now. You know, it's perfectly circular, it's perfectly together, which means that it's closed and it's flowing smoothly. Now, think about this. Next thing you know, we're in our human life. We're in our human life and we develop attachments and we create these energy cords to things outside of our human being. So say these are energy cords now that are coming from your energy body or your light body. So if you see correctly, what's going on here? It's no longer fully closed and circulating. So now this living active energy body that's even active in this present moment and always is active is now trying to rotate and spin. But while it's rotating and spinning, it has basically holes in it. And through these holes are these energetic cords that siphon your energy into wherever this cord is attached to. Now, this is not good or bad. This is not about good or bad. This is really about discernment of where we're attaching our energy. What resource are we attaching our energy to? Are we being replenished by that source? Are we being given back something of some type of exchange measure? Or are we receiving basically dead energy, receiving nothing back? Or are we receiving artificial energy back? There's many different things that can come into this. So attachment number 1, or energy cord connection number 1, say we have a attachment or energy cord connected to drugs and alcohol. So, got some pills, got a bottle. That's attachment number 1. Attachment number 2, we have attachment to our loved ones. This can be family members, our partner, friends, teachers, and anybody else. And then next, let's say we have an attachment to money. And once again, this isn't about good or bad. It's not about saying that money is bad to be attached to. This is about understanding what happens if we are overtly attached and we become dependent upon things like money. So, first example, if we have an attachment and we have an energetic cord attached to drugs and alcohol and addiction, what's happening is that we are now giving our authentic energy, the energy that we have been building, harnessing, and doing all this human activity with, to build the energy field up, is now being siphoned out, the drugs and alcohol. What does this mean? It means that we're giving our power away. We are giving our Christ conscious awareness away. We are giving our light away to drugs and alcohol. Now, depending upon what kind of substance it is, there's going to be a varying degree of what type of energy you receive back, if you do receive back anything. Now, say you're taking a plant medicine retreat or a ceremony, and you're connecting with a plant medicine, but it's not from an addictive standpoint. You create that temporary cord and connect with it, give your energy to it to be released and healed, and then what you receive back through that cord is the medicine, the spiritual healing, and the loving energy of that plant medicine back through that cord into your energy field. So now if you're addicted to alcohol, you're taking a ton of prescription drugs or hard drugs, what you're going to get back instead within that energy cord, while you're giving away your precious, authentic, pure energy, is you're going to get a very tainted, low vibrational energy back through that energy cord, depending upon the frequency of the substance that you are utilizing, the intention, and where it's being used. So with that being said, you then receive that polluting energy into your energy field. And when that happens, that can then pollute your energy field and create more blockages, create illness and disease. And it can also create tears and leaks within your aura and your energy field. And when there's tears and leaks, that can attract lower entities. It can attract human beings that have lower desires, as well as unpure desires, and other experiences and situations of that type of degree of nature. So now say we also have this attachment to our loved ones. Of course, there's a healthy attachment that you have with your loved ones. When you guys recognize that you're both beautiful sovereign beings that are experiencing together, and you are just choosing and wanting to be in a union. Now, when you lose sight of that, and you start to focus your attention on your partner as the center of your whole entire life, as the end-all be-all for everything that you do, including your own answers for your own self, for things that you're doing for your own self, along with basically becoming what is kind of like a slave to a master type of feel, basing your worthiness off of them, basing your validation off of them about what you're experiencing and your own experiences internally, as well as other codependent and narcissistic dynamics start assembling from being overtly attached and having unhealthy cords with our loved ones. They can feel the dynamic shift whenever we're putting them on a pedestal, or whenever we're being equal with them, or whenever we're putting ourselves over them. You can feel the dynamic shift energetically. Now, if we're just continuing to invalidate ourselves for somebody else, or we're just waiting to be validated by somebody else instead of giving ourselves the love and giving ourselves the validation of, oh yeah, this is a beautiful thing that I'm doing. It's absolutely wonderful. Why wouldn't I be doing this? You know? Then do it. So if we continuously give our energy away to them, give our focus away, it starts to create imbalances within ourselves. We start to lose focus of our health. We start to lose focus of our daily routines, our activities, the things that we were going to do that are healthy for us, because we are so attached to what other people are doing that we just lose sight of our own self. And then we end up, what you can kind of say is leaving ourself or abandoning our own self so that we can focus on and give attention to something outside of us instead of our own self. Now, what type of energy do you get back if we have a strong attachment and codependency of some sort on the people that we love and those around us? Well, typically you get narcissistic-like situations. Typically you get victimhood mentality from your own self. Typically you get what may feel like a disconnect between true unconditional love and that dynamic or relationship. And then along with that unworthiness and energy comes back into your space because we're seeking for something that our loved one is not supposed to be doing for us. That is our job. Our job is to validate ourselves. You know, our job is to become in tune with our own well-being, become the self-master of our being. It's nobody else's job besides our own as divine sovereign beings that came here with these multidimensional vehicles. We are very well capable. We are all very capable. If we weren't, we would not be in this existence, in this multidimensional functioning, doing what we do on such micro and macro levels of this divine universe. And with that, we just drain ourselves, give away our power, give away our energy. And we just have to really discern. This is where discernment comes in. Discern on who we're attaching to and who we're connecting cords with and what we're connecting cords with. Because if we're going to be giving our love, giving our energy like this, in this type of manner, we want to make sure that we are being replenished, that it's circulating, and that we are being given back unconditional love of some sort. Next, we have the attachment to money. We're so attached to money that, you know, we feel like we're not shit because there's some people around us that have a lot of money and we only have a few dollars in our pocket. That would be an extreme attachment to money. You're starting to identify yourself with the material. Another example would be you start to burn bridges with people. You start to treat people terribly. Start to step on people's shoes or step on people's feet. That's the phrase. And you just start becoming egotistical and you just want to feel better and you just want to have more money over connecting with people on a soul level or a human level and have humility. That's another thing that can manifest when we have an unhealthy attachment or cord connected to money. Hydration check for all of you. So now, as we are giving away this energy, giving away our power, giving away our authentic energy, giving away our own worthiness and validation within to this paper material, what are we going to receive back? What are we going to receive back here? Not much of anything, because it's just a material item. If we are super attached to the material world, we're truly not going to be receiving back unconditional love, because the material is incapable of giving unconditional love. It's not a living item. It's not a living being. It's not a living thing. It's a dead thing, as in it doesn't have a conscious pulse that is living and capable of interacting with you in a manner such as another human being or an animal or a tree. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a level of vibration. There's a level of energy to it, of course, because everything is. But it's a very dense material density. Along with that, you'll then be also getting anything that attracts and comes with the polarity of money, as in the ups and downs, the grind, the chase, all that stuff will then get brought back to you and fuel you with this attachment that you have. So you'll be fueled by your lower ego. You'll be fueled by your lower desires more and more, the more that you feed and attach to the material world, such as money. And the more that you attach to it, the more you chase it, the more you keep chasing your own tail. And you keep going through the cycles of, highs and lows of, oh, I have a lot of money, I feel amazing, I'm on top of the world. Oh, I have $5, I feel like shit. I'm basing my worth off of only having $5. And then it just becomes a perpetual cycle until we cut that cord, cut that attachment. And then that's the key here. All of this is going on. And think about how many more other cords we have in our everyday life. All of this is going on, very living and very active in the moment. And you're just becoming polluted with all these energies. Start getting blockages, illness, disease. So what do you have to do in order to be able to stop receiving this energy and stop giving this type of energy? This is where cord clearings and cord cutting ceremonies come in. I'm sure you guys have heard of them. Shout out to those that do cord clearing ceremonies. It's a very powerful, deep, and beautiful ceremony and healing process. You may hear Archangel Michael as a beautiful lead guide that you can use for cord clearing ceremonies. But what happens is we cut this cord, or we cut the cords here, and then what? What happens is those cords are no longer attached to you, and you're no longer giving your attention and energy to that. That's why they say if you want to be able to overcome something, or you do not want something to manifest or be a part of your life any longer, then you take your attention away from it. When you take your attention away from it, what are you doing? You're drawing back in your energetic focus cords. Your energy cords are based off of your focus and intention. So when you bring back your focus and intention to you, what are you doing? You're cutting out the world. You're cutting out the cords that you attach to the world, bringing back your energy to just you, reclaiming your energy and reclaiming your power and sovereignty. So now, when we cut these cords, this then brings a healing process. There's leaks and tears that can come, and many other things that can come with all these experiences. So it's not like a one-stop shop where you cut the cords and then you're fully back to being healed with your being. This is, you cut the cords, there's going to be some residue, there's going to be some lingering effects, and we're just going to have some patience, some nurturing, some compassion and love, and do the things we need to regenerate and rebuild ourselves. But what happens is we start bringing a repairing system to this aura to now close back up and become your whole being state. So you're circulating properly with your masculine and feminine energy. And then with that allows you to become more of your best self, to be your most healthiest, brilliant, and shining self for the world, including yourself and others, including your loved ones that you're attached to or were attached to. And then you find yourself naturally being abundant and collecting currency naturally through you, knowing that you are the abundance, that you are the current that is pulling in the currency. That's where currency comes from. Currency is just based off of your current of energy and where it's being directed. And then lastly, you no longer feel the desire or need to feel high or to feel a certain way based off of drugs and alcohol, because you have your prana flowing through you. You have light and life force energy, Christ consciousness flowing through you, giving you the feelings of bliss, of love, of groundedness, security, and so much more. All right, guys, so that's going to go ahead and do it for Light Body Awareness 101 as we kick off in this first session. We covered the topics of the structure, blueprints, and system of the light body. We also briefly touched on chakras and intuition. We also touched on grounding metaphysics and what that looks like, as well as activation metaphysics, being connected with the divine realms. And then we also talked about etheric energy cords and attachments. So these topics will each be in their own episode throughout the series for Light Body Awareness 101 as we continue to travel and explore the multidimensional bodies of the human being. And we'll also be touching on cleansing the energy field, the light body, activating the light body, as well as the 5-factor model. So that's what's going to be coming up throughout the series. If you guys have any questions at all about any of this content that I just spoke on, if you have any feedback, any comments regarding the way I did my whiteboard display today for the first time ever, I would love your feedback. I really appreciate it, as this is a new step in my journey. And it took a little bit for me to step through the nervousness and to really ground myself and have the willingness to do this. And I'm really grateful to do it with you guys. So thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the love. I appreciate you guys. And if you guys are not following me yet, you can see me do this live for my episodes the day before on Instagram, sacredlight33, on Facebook, Christolight Robbins. And then of course, you'll have these full episodes streaming on YouTube on Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. Feel free to let me know if you would like to be a sacred guest, if you want to share your knowledge or wisdom regarding the light body or any of these topics when it comes to the multidimensional being of being human. Just let me know, reach out, and then we can get together, see if you resonate with being a sacred guest to come on and share for our collective brothers and sisters about Light Body Awareness 101. You guys can donate to me if you would like. I appreciate all donations. It's Cash App and PayPal. I'll have that down below in the description here on the YouTube channel. And yeah, like I said, feel free to comment, give me feedback. Let me know how this learning style was for you, if everything is pretty clear-cut and understandable, because I know this can be complex information, especially because it's not physical life information. It's, etheric, metaphysical things that are very hard to kind of articulate in the physical form. But yeah, just let me know how it is for you. All right. I'll see you guys next time, as we'll be touching on either energy cords or chakras on the next episode. This is Light Body Awareness 101. I am Marcus Christolight of Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Wholeness and balanced love.
Have you ever considered your bond with the earth? The intricate connection that ties your essence to the very soil beneath your feet? Today we delve into the concept of grounding your light body to the earth, a practice that can bring a sense of calm, connection, and balance. First, picture your light body, the ethereal double of your physical form, glowing with vibrant energy. It's an aura, a radiant light that extends beyond your physical boundary. Step one is to find a quiet, peaceful place, preferably outdoors. Feel the touch of the wind, the warmth of the sun, or the gentle patter of rain. These elements of nature can enhance your grounding experience. Step two involves visualizing your grounding cord. It's an imaginary line that extends from your light body deep into the core of the earth. Imagine this cord as a brilliant, pulsating stream of energy, connecting you to the heart of our planet. Step three is all about releasing energy. Envision the excess energy in your body flowing down through your grounding cord, being absorbed by the earth. This process of release is not about losing energy, but about creating a balance between your light body and the earth. Step four is the reciprocal act of receiving energy. Picture the earth's energy flowing back up through your grounding cord, filling your light body with a warm, nurturing glow. This energy exchange is a cycle, a constant give and take, fostering a deep connection with the earth. And finally, step five is maintaining this connection. Throughout your day, remember your grounding cord. Feel the earth's energy coursing through you, keeping you centered, balanced, and connected. In essence, grounding your light body to the earth involves 5 key steps: finding a peaceful place, visualizing your grounding cord, releasing excess energy, receiving earth's energy, and maintaining this connection. It's a journey of balance and harmony, a dance of energy between you and the earth. This practice can bring about a sense of calm, alleviate stress, and deepen your connection with the earth. It's a reminder that we are not separate from the world around us, but intrinsically tied to it. So as we go about our day, let us carry this connection within us, a vibrant reminder of our grounding cord to the earth.